from 1949 and number 258 in the Masters of Cinema series is Champion, starring Kirk Douglas as Midge Kelly. And this is a kind of boxing movie, film noir rolled into one. We open up with our character entering into the grand stage. You know, he's a boxer at his prime, he's introduced as a champion, the whole camera just loves him. You see a silhouetted figure at the start, his name on his robe, makes his way into the ring. Camera's looking up at him. Look at this man, this champion of champions. And we're introduced to Mitch Kelly. And then in a flashback mode, we jump back a number of years to him on a boxcar with his brother, who is crippled, and they're getting rolled over, they're getting the money stolen off them, and they get thrown off the train. And we get to follow these two characters. They're destitute, they're broke, they don't have anything, they're just trying to make a living of sorts. They happen across a lift as they are hitchhiking, and it turns out to be a boxer, a champion boxer who's going to a fight. And he kind of tells the guys, you know, maybe you can make a couple of bucks selling drink or food or something. Doesn't quite go to plan. They end up owing a little bit of money, and when a boxer can't make the ring, Midge decides to go in there and do the job himself, make some money at the time. It's a wonderful fight sequence. He's horrible, he's not coordinated, but he's got a lot of gusto, and he goes for it. And when he's leaving, he gets a promoter telling him, you know, come and see me, and I'll make you a big star. And we kind of follow this character as he sees these opportunities but doesn't see them from what they are. He turns that guy down. He goes to another place looking to make a quick buck, thinks he's bought shares of a diner, and turns out he hasn't, and has to take a busboy job to make ends meet.
And who owns this place?
You do.
All right.
But then eventually he starts to train to be a boxer. He starts to get the breaks, and he discovers that he's got a real talent for it. And I thought this movie was going to be watching someone rise through the ranks, watching someone who is so on the bottom rung of a ladder slowly build his way to the top. And to a certain extent it is, but we're watching as his persona rises up the ladder, we simultaneously watch his character get worse and worse and go down. As he goes up, he comes down, and becomes a kind of horrible character all the way through this.
You talk as if we were married.
Well, we're going to be. And tomorrow's as good a time as any.
Tomorrow? Say, that's dandy. Tomorrow, huh? Well, why not? You got as much chance of marrying me tomorrow as today. That's no chance at all.
He loses his humanity the more money and prestige that he gets. And it's a wonderful dichotomy between these two different vying forces as we watch Midge get everything he could possibly want and lose everything that he rather needs in his life, whether it be his brother, his wife, his lovers, women that he treats like things. Everything in his life is something to be attained, discarded after it's been used. And Kirk Douglas does a wonderful performance in this one as someone who wants the end goal. And if he needs to discard someone, push someone away, take the easy option, he does that. You know, he just wants to get to that goal. There is a tenacity within the man.
Emma's gone, Midge. You know why?
No. Why?
You're no different. You're only worse. Your blood has turned cold.
But he's not willing to fight for the right things. He's always fighting for the wrong things. And the fight sequences are really exciting. You're in the ring with Douglas. You get to see him beaten, and you get to see him do the beating as well as he slowly becomes really proficient at his craft. But like I said, it's the idea of a man working his way up through the ranks and slowly losing everything that makes him special to become something that's so poisonous, so destructive for everything around him. You know, there's definitely a point where he just starts to lose bits and pieces until at the end of the movie he has all the adulation. He's the title, he's the champion, he's the king of the world, with nobody to share it with.
Did you hear that crowd? See, for the first time in my life, people cheering for me. Were you deaf? Didn't you hear them?
Such a wonderfully placed movie with fantastic characters, and a lot of the side characters are really interesting to see, whether it be his manager, his brother, Emma, the girls that punctuate his life, his business savvy manager that comes in later on in the movie, his mother that is prominent and then sidelined as well. Everything is so layered and set up in this movie with a key performances from all the cast, and particularly Douglas, who is so terrific and full of bravado and gusto. It just hammered home. Terrific movie. I really enjoyed Champion, so much so that I watched it one night and instantly watched it again before doing this review, just because I really did enjoy this one. It kind of caught me off guard.
And I know you. But I did know you up in that ring. You looked as if you wanted to kill that guy. As if you would have killed him if they hadn't stopped you.
Is that bad?
I was expecting a boxing movie. I wasn't expecting the noirish elements that come into it. And that's before even talking about the direction, or the way it's stylized, or the way it gets around certain rules of the time, you know, like the codes that were going on to stop them showing certain things and how they allude to it. There's wonderful moments where he goes night swimming with a woman. I think we all know what that means. The way it's kind of set up is particularly fun. I love, there's a fight sequence in a ring. There's not a boxing match. There's hoods there. The way it's set up, the way it's directed, it kind of gives hope and ultimate taking it away at a certain point as well. It's a super exciting sequence, really well done. The score's fantastic. The look of the movie's really great. Everything about it just screams class. I loved it. I thought Champion was a terrific release, one that I highly recommend picking up. Masters of Cinema have done it again and highlighted to me another movie that I now love that I'd never heard of before. As always, I've got other content up here that you can check out. I would love to know your thoughts on this movie and have a discussion with you. If you think I deserve it, hit this video with a like, subscribe if you haven't done so, share it if you think it's worth sharing. And if you're feeling extra supportive, you could join the membership program or maybe even the Patreon, which would be amazing and helps keep these videos coming. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time on Man v Film.